Ohai. Sillamäe. The city in Estonia, one of the main industrial centers in the county Ida-Virumaa. Geography. Sillamäe is located in northeast Estonia, on the bank of the Gulf of Finland, in the place of confluence in of the Sitki River, near the Estonian-Russian border. From the west along the coast the natural Piate Park stretches to Sillamäe, in the south the city borders on a reserved zone of the Langavia Falls. Distance from Sillamäe to Tallinn -186 km, to Narva -25 km, to Street. Petersburg -170 km. Through the city there passes the highway Tallinn-Narva Street. Petersburg. Coat of arms of Sillamäe. On a blue background a gold step design reminding rafters. The connecting edges of the coat of arms of rafter symbolize both the bridge and the mountain, thereby indicating the name of the city. Sild, bridge, Meja, mountain. The step form of rafters indicates one of features of the city, step streets and ladder ensembles. Colors of the coat of arms symbolize the sea, the sandy coast, gold declines. The flag represents the image of the coat of arms and with the normal size of 105 x 165 cs is related to length 711. The motto Sillamäe, the city of fresh sea winds, are reflected in the motto. Location of the city, on the seashore. Features of climate, mainly windy weather. The fact that in connection with construction of the port of Sillamäe from closed eye turned into the sea city open for the whole world and ready to cooperation. The word fresh, an antonym to the words stagnant, musty, decrepit, means readiness for changes and updates. History. The first mention of Sillamäe is the settlement where the tavern of Torres the Brigand was located, Threats 1502. In 1700 the mill and the good bridge through the river were constructed here. After accession to Russia the settlement belonged to the Vezembergsky county of the Estliansky province. Some time of the earth of the present city treated possession of the Grange Vaver from which the semi-grange of Sillamäe was allocated subsequently. Completely separate economy she became in 1849. Since the end of the 19th century of Sillamäe and nearby Sillamäe became the resort communities popular with the street. Petersburg intellectuals. In 1869 the Russian composer Piotr Tchaikovsky had a rest here. In 1891 the scientist physiologist Ivan Pavlov came to have a rest here and then went here to have a rest every summer within 25 years. In 1898 in Sillamäe Orthodox Church of Our Lady of Kazan. It is destroyed in 1944, is restored in 1990. Was constructed. But industrial life intruded also on resort lands. In 1928 the Estonian Oil Consortium constructed by means of the Swedish capital the slate processing plant, power plant and small port here. In 1940 in Sillamäe there were 2,600 inhabitants. In the years of World War II the plant was destroyed. In 1946 the decision on creation here of large steel works on processing of slate ores for the purpose of receiving oxides of uranium was made. Victor Rustic was the chairman of Settlement Council in those days. First the enterprise used local slate ore. since the 1960s uranium concentrates from countries of Eastern Europe became the main raw materials. In 1957, Sillamäe received the status of the city. At the time of the USSR to the city, the large number of families from other federal republics moved. From 1947 to 1991, Sillamäe remained closed. After the termination in 1990 of processing of uranium ores, the plant completely switched to production of rare earth products. From 1947 to 1960, Fyodor Yakovlevich Gukov, in honor of whom on House No. 5 on Rumyantsev Street in 2014 the memorial plate was established, was the director of the city forming plant. All houses of the city are constructed after World War II, of them more than a half in 1971 and later. 5-story and 9-story houses from a red brick. Population. According to the Register of the Population as of January 1, 2021, 12230 people lived in the city. As of January 1, 2021, the share of inhabitants at the age of 65 years is also more senior in structure of the population of the city, made 27.9%. The 3,411th person. The share of inhabitants is younger than 14 years, made 11.7%. 1430 person. According to a population census of 2011, 14252 persons, from them 12468 people. 87.48%. Russians 684 people. 4.8%. Estonians 1074 people. 7.54%. Other nationalities lived in the city. Residential quarters are located to the east from the Sitki River. The classical boulevards and wide ladders conducting to the seashore emphasize a city landscape. The proximity of the resort of Narva-Yushu and the pine forest give to citizens and city visitors an opportunity for good rest. In 2019, the city of Sillamäe took the 77th place in size of average gross salaries among 79 municipalities of Estonia. From 1993 to 2013, in Sillamäe, the Institute of Economy and Management worked. As of the beginning of 2021, in the city, 4 kindergartens. The kindergarten, Patty Cake, was closed in 2001. Worked. Economic development of this region began at the end of the 19th century, when Sillamäe became the resort community. At the beginning of the 20th century, the factory, and later the plant on processing of uranium-bearing ore, was constructed here. This plant became the city-forming enterprise. In 1991, Sillamäe was reorientated for production of rare earth metals. In 2011, the plant was acquired by the American corporation Molycorp. Today, the industry is the most important factor of development of the city. Since the beginning of the old years, the role of the port of Sillamäe increased in economy, not only the cities, but also the region. The Sillamäe port is the closest port of the European Union to border of Russia. For 2012, is among 5 largest ports of Baltics. The number of employees of Port Azov was 147 people. A large employer of Sillamäe is the town council. The number of its personnel as of was 94 persons. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.